In this video we take a look at Zombie Grisa and why she is great for more than two big reasons. Perhaps one of the most unique but also versatile figures I've ever seen, this is RPG-03, a 1/12 figure from Snail Shell's Isekai or Adventure in Another World line. Of course others before her include Succubus Lustia and Muse Asdo. Box is blue, looks very nice, I do like the design. Simple but effective. There's a silhouette at the front, and some words and things all around. Getting her out of the box, she has just one tray. There's some promos and after sales and instructions and stuff. Here's a look at the instructions, just in case. There are some protectee seal bits, just like other Snail Shell figures. Let's release her from the tray. Here she is, looking very nice. She feels good to hold and is pretty soft, I guess. Probably because of all the loose bandage parts around her, which are soft plastic. Unfortunately, out of the box, her head does seem to be a little bit loose for me. Might just be my copy though. The ball joint doesn't seem to pop in properly and just kind of sits in the neck hole, if that kind of makes sense. It does hold on, but not too well. Not really too big of an issue, however it does fall off when moved around. And I've actually dropped her head so many times there are scratches at the back. Oh well, kind of character accurate. And channel name accurate, I guess. If yours is loose, just be careful as her head is quite heavy. I also almost missed the plastic bit around her torso since it was kind of covered by her assets. Overall, she does have a nice simple aesthetic and colour scheme. I mean, it's just two colours, right? However, she is quite detailed with all the shading and sculpting. The hair and head sculpt look good with some hair laid above her bandages, giving her some nice volume and dimension. Her inner or under hair part is a nice blue gradient. Her head does turn well as long as it doesn't fall off and the back hair doesn't get in the way. She can nod and she can tilt well enough. Her back hair has no articulation points but is soft plastic. However, this doesn't really allow for more range. Her little eyebrows are also articulated. They can rotate, but be very careful with them as they are pretty tiny and you wouldn't want to lose or break them. It would be nice for them to include spares, but there are only 2 spare wrist joints. Her neck joint is also similar to the slanted wrist joints, and not like the previous Snail Shell figures. Her arms move like most other Snail Shell girls, as long as her bandages and head don't get in the way. The bandages can also actually be taken off, and we'll take a look at that later. If you remove her head, her arms do a full rotation. She does have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and her hands move as expected. The bandages are floaty bits, of course. She can reach forward this much for your stereotypical zombie pose, and she can move her arms back this much without her head. Otherwise, for design, she's got a little bandaged bow at the front, which looks pretty cute. Actually never noticed it until now. And you know what? She's actually got a really toned tummy. Very nice. The shading and sculpting here is excellent, and I'm not sure if the video is doing it justice. Looks very good in person. Torso articulation is a little bit limited due to reasons when it comes to rotation. She does have a decent forward and backward bend, and some tilt. Be careful when moving her around and don't force it too much as the matte coat can scrape off. She of course has more sculpted and floating bandage bits on her legs and going down to the feet, which are also bandaged up. Normally she can spread her legs like this. She can't really kick back and forth too much, she's a bit too thick. However, she does have pull down legs. Pull these out carefully as they can be a little bit hard to put back if you accidentally pull the leg off. After pulling her legs down, she can split a little bit more, and she can kick a little bit more. Do also be careful here as the panty and torso piece can scratch the legs a little bit. She also has thigh rotation, which blends in well with the bandages. She has double jointed knees, and pretty standard foot movement. Her hair does cover most of her back, so depending on the angle there's not too much to see. Angled just right, or if you move her head, then you can see that she does have some nice assets and sculpting on her back too. Overall, looks great. Feels pretty good to move, just the loose head and the legs are a tiny bit loose as well. Of course you can remove her loose bandages, Do this carefully as the ones on the upper arm can be a little bit tight and hard to remove. The way you do this is a little bit scary. Essentially, very carefully pull the arm apart at the elbow, then you should be able to slide the bandage right off. For the forearm bandages, simply just remove her hand and you can take them off. Quickly showing you the other side. For her leg bandages, simply remove her feet. I wouldn't recommend messing around with her upper arm bandages too much, as popping the elbow off too much probably isn't a good idea. Though in saying that, I have done it a few times and she still feels fine. For reference, this is how they should be arranged. For accessories, she has your standard inclusions like stand base, stand arm with a claw and a plug. She has 2 spare wrist joints, of course. She has a total of 3 pairs of hands. Default kind of zombie hands. Grabby, holdy kind of hands, which she can use to hold larger things, such as her own arm. And she has a pair of fisty hands. She has this apparent first release bonus, which is a pile of dirt for her to do zombie things with. Looks good and is a nice little inclusion. At the time of recording, I don't think Snail Shell has done any reruns, so I'm not really sure what first release means. She has a little bone part which you can use to replace her removed arm with. Pretty creative and works well. Would have been nice to include a pair of smaller holdy hands for other things, but oh well. For faces, she has 3 total. Her default face is kind of a bleh, zombie kind of expression with black and yellow eyes and an open mouth. Looks pretty good. She has pointy ears as well. She also has a super cute shocked expression, probably most people's favorite. And she does have a sad or disappointed kind of closed-eye look. A nice detail is that the standard face has her ears kinda normal, and then the other 2 faces have her ears downturned a little bit. What else would have been nice would have been a front hair swap so we can see both her eyes. A little bit of a waste, but oh well. For her default face, she also does have eye articulation, and you can move the eyes using this little stick thing. For height, she is about 14.5 centimeters or just over 5.5 inches. This makes her one of the shorter full-sized Snail Shell girls, but that's okay because she is stacked. I gotta say, her overall aesthetic is pretty unique when compared to your other usual waifu figures, which of course is a very welcome addition to your usual bunnies and mages and even the gun girls. In saying that, Grisa would probably fit into most collections, which is a good thing of course. I'll also have links in the description and pinned comment for where you can grab some figures and stuff. Please do consider using or bookmarking these links if you'd like to support the channel at no extra cost. Appreciate you, and if you are wondering, head size is similar to most other Snail Shell girls, so you can do some swaps with some light modding. Model kit and husky heads might also work. Her arms are a little bit thicker though. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.